Hello, beautiful souls. I am Sarah Ariana, and we're in the Lion's Gate. This is intense energy. It's off the charts. There's so many layers within this. Let's dive right on in. Thank you so much for being here. We are in the Lion's Gate. The energy is off the charts. It's almost like a full moon times 1,000. And the song's coming up in my head, the rock and roll song, Welcome to the Jungle. It's like, welcome to the Lion's Gate. It's this energy. It's so potent. And what is the Lion's Gate? It begins on July the 26th or the 28th and goes to August the 12th, and the peak is on August the 8th. This is when Earth, the Sun in Leo, Orion's belt, and the star Sirius come into alignment. This is a cosmic alignment. And in ancient Egypt times, it was known as a time of transformation, of enlightenment and leveling up. And this is what's occurring. It really is a gift. This is an opportunity for these energies to come up. And it's not by chance that we're in the year of the snake, because these energies, emotions are coming up to be addressed, to be acknowledged, to be shed. So let's take a look first. July the 28th came in hot in the Schumann resonance. It was an 83 hertz amplitude peak. Many of us felt this before, during, after. It was intense energy. July 30th, 8.8 magnitude earthquake in Russia. And for those that are highly sensitive, for those that anchor the light, are beacons of light, are grid workers, are guardians of the earth, you may be feeling this specific earthquake. This was one of the strongest earthquakes recorded. So you may have actually had, for those that are sensitive, not everyone felt this, but you may have had headaches, ear buzzing. You may not have been able to sleep. This energy may have also shifted for you, and you felt great afterward. However, there's some of us that this has been going on for over a 24-hour period. And it is a time for those that are feeling the intensity of this, a time to rest, cocoon, hydrate, and ground your energies. Once it's transmuted, you then may be able to exercise, go out, be in nature, and dance. You may feel really lit up. However, during it, it's another story. It's quite intense. I think I've had a headache now for over 24 hours. And it says a low-grade headache. So it is this time of resting and cocooning, honoring your energy, honoring how you are feeling. So the Lion's Gate. Wow, it just came in so hot, this energy. And every year I found that the Lion's Gate is different. This one, however, is regarding the energies that are shedding. So there are themes with this. And this is so deeply integrated into the cells and DNA of humanity. And it's also throughout the centuries. This is ancestral lineage that has gone through. And what are these themes that are coming up? Some are going to resonate with this message and some are not. The themes that are coming up are shame, guilt, I'm not good enough. And there's also a heavier energy as well, a darker energy. There may be also suicidal thoughts that are coming up. So this shame, guilt, I'm not enough, and this darkness of it's too much, I can't do it anymore, it's a giving up energy, is so deeply embedded in the cellular structure and the DNA of the human. And I was shown too, as soon as you come out of the birth canal, it's like this coating goes around each human. And this Lion's Gate, really opportunity gift that is here, it is for the light workers, the star seeds, the grid workers, the volunteers. It is for us to take a look at this, to take the deep dive into this energy. And this energy may also come up physically for you. So you may have an injury. And take notice if this is occurring for you, where it is in the body, where your injury or where the pain, uncomfortableness is. And then take the deep dive when you're ready, sitting with what comes up for you. It may be shame, it may be guilt. It also may not be your own. You may be also transmuting this, needing to be looked at for the collective or for your ancestral lineage. There's no attachment to it. However, the energy, this portal that we're in, is asking us to take a look at it. And you may find that maybe on July 30th, you took the deep dive and man, you felt better afterwards. The next day, not so good. You're like, why are these suicidal thoughts coming up? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling going back to this energy of I'm not good enough over and over again? I've been here through my whole life. Why am I going through this? Why is depression coming up again? I'm feeling this heavy energy, maybe overwhelm. And it is this portal that opens for us to be with the energy of whatever is coming up, to acknowledge it, we witness it, and we hold it in love. And when this occurs, there is this release. And it may not be just one time that this takes place. It may be throughout the whole entire portal. But know that you are strong enough. We are strong together as a community, and we can do this. This is intense work that we are going through. And these, the shame, the guilt, the I'm not good enough, these suicidal thought energies that are coming up is so deeply integrated in the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And you may be finding that these energies and emotions that are rising, it takes time to nurture this energy, nurture yourself. And it's just not a one-time thing that you go, you take the deep dive in, oh, this is done, it's complete. Yes. This is multiple layers. And Gru and I, when we had our last group session, we took this deep dive and we discovered that it is so deeply embedded in the divine feminine. And it is this webbing that takes place like in the cell. It's like this, the shame goes in, or the guilt, and it goes as webbing, and it goes throughout all of the cells. And there's so many layers to it. It even goes back to, if you've been abused as a woman. And throughout the centuries, we've been so abused. And it is this energy of, even while you're getting abused, you're like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I didn't mean to do that. Like, this is so massive, this energy that's coming up to be released right now. It's time. This is why all of this is coming up in our faces, to be addressed, to be held, to be witnessed, to be loved, to be let go of. And for some of us, we are transmuting this. We are holding this energy. We are witnessing, observing this energy for all the women that have endured this throughout the centuries. So this is not easy work. This is next level soul, light worker, grid worker, volunteer, starseed work that we are doing together. And this does need to be acknowledged, that this is not easy. And there are so many layers in this. So what was fascinating was in this group session, when Gru and I were taking this deep dive with some really incredible, spectacular women, up came forward the next part that Gru and I will be aiding the women, help training the women now. And it is this womb creation. We're now really working with the womb. And it doesn't matter if you physically have a womb or not. This is energetic. We're using the womb, we're using the word womb more and more now. It's time to bring this forth. And Gru and I, when I was in Denmark visiting her, and it was 3 beautiful courses that came forward. And one of them was manifestation. It was the creation, the power of the womb. And this is for men or women. And now what's come forward is currently we are offering group sessions. You book an individual session and it's for a soul mission alignment session. And they're beautiful. However, this is now coming to a close and there's only a few sessions left in August. And the link is below. So if this speaks to you, you want to, if you're in need of clearing, releasing, healing, and soul mission alignment, you book your session. It is in a group of 4, and there are a few spots available left. Now, however, the energy is changing so quickly that Gru and I are now going with this. We are now introducing, it's called the Womb Creation Trinity of the Divine Feminine. This is for, and you will know, this is for women only. Groups of 3, and you individually book your session. This is divinely orchestrated that a trinity, a group of 3 will come together. And this is training with Gru and I. And it's unfolding of working with the womb, working with the Trinity energy, the group of 3 in the divine feminine. And it is the sisterhood that is now coming forth. And some of you are going to ask, well, what about the divine masculine? Where does that leave the divine masculine? First, the divine feminine is in men and women. Also, the divine masculine is in men and women. However, we've been called to do this work now with women because this also impacts the men energetically throughout the globe. So right now we are working and you will tune in if this speaks to you. This is really powerful training work that we are doing now. It is time for the women to work in sisterhood. We release this wounding.
And these are ancient wounds of sisterhood. Many of you took the journey, the deep dive into the witch wound. And this was back at the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. And some of us felt, yes, that did heal part of it, but there was more to it. And this is what this is. It is the sisterhood for lifetimes. Women, we have carried unspoken wounds within the sisterhood. These wounds, they have often silenced our voices. They've dimmed our light. They've created separation where unity was meant to thrive. And here are 5 core wounds of the sisterhood of the divine feminine. And this is so important to understand this, for it's so deeply embedded. And the first one is betrayal and competition. The fear of jealousy, rivalry, or being hurt by other women. And the next one is rejection and exile. Some of us have memories of being cast out or not belonging within women's circles. This goes way back centuries in the ancestral lineage. The third is suppressed feminine power. We have fear of expressing our gifts, intuition, or truth fully. And this also has to do with the result of doing so, of being burned at the stake, of being outcast. And the fourth is loss and separation. We have soul pain, deep soul pain from sisterhoods being torn apart in past lifetimes. It rips at the heart and the energy of our soul. And we can feel this, we know this. And the fifth is mother wound and distorted feminine archetypes. inherited patterns of criticism, control, or abandonment passed down through feminine lineages. We know this. My gosh, we're experiencing this right here and right now. And now it is time to heal the ancient wounds of sisterhood. We move from betrayal and it transforms into trust. Old fears of being hurt by sisters dissolve in the presence of love and truth. Competition gives way to celebration, and in the process, each woman's light amplifies, not diminishes the others. Judgment melts into sacred witnessing. You are seen, held, and honored exactly as you are. Suppression turns into expression. The voice and power of the feminine awaken again, free and unbound. Walls of protection soften into connection. True intimacy in sisterhood is restored, remembered, and safe once more. And Guru and I are now offering, it's called the Womb Creation Trinity of the Divine Feminine. This is a sacred space for women who are ready to awaken, train with their womb energy, and return to the ancient power of creation through sisterhood, love, and unity. This offering is a call to those who feel the time has come to heal the ancient wounds of sisterhood and reclaim the pure original power of the divine feminine creation. And together, we do this in resonance, safety, and devotion.
This is healing now, this deep wound. And it is the transformation of working in a trinity with three as sisters. And Guru and I have been so blown away by the groups of three that have been coming together, and they've worked long ago. And so for more information, the link is below. And we have now openings up for the very end of August and September. And it really is an exciting time that this is unfolding, because this is going through globally. And the work that we're doing as groups of three, it not only impacts you individually, and also you found a sisterhood, you found a group where you will also be continuing to work together after the session, if that speaks to you. So we are in this phenomenal opportunity and gift of the Lion's Gate. And many of us are finding that these wounds, these energies are coming up of shame, guilt, of I'm not good enough. And for some, it is these suicidal thoughts, these darker thoughts that are coming up, that this is too hard. I don't want to do this anymore. And it may even that you've just had a fleeting thought of this. It may not be that you're in it the whole Lionsgate, or that you've had this repeating your whole entire life. However, this is not a truth. When you're in that shame, when you're in that guilt, when you're in those suicidal thoughts, it is so real. It's so real. However, in this energy, you may notice more and more that this does feel
like you're in a simulation. That reality isn't as solid as it seems. And you may notice that you have this video game feeling lately. And this is part of the global shift in consciousness. As our frequency rises, the veil between physical reality and higher dimensions thins. So it makes this 3D world feel less permanent or less real. And whether you're experiencing that it's feeling like a simulation, a dream, remember that there's a higher truth beyond this reality. And when you feel that this isn't real, when you have that sensation, pause. You take 3 slow, deep breaths. You feel your breath anchoring you to the present moment. Connect to your body. You can place your hands on the body, on your heart. And you can say, I am here. I am safe. I am anchored in love. You can visualize roots. Imagine roots growing from your feet deep into the earth. And see Mother Earth holding you steady, reminding you that while this reality may feel dreamlike, you are supported, you are connected. And then call in higher truth. Picture in a beam of golden light coming down from your highest self, wrapping around you. And you can say, I am the observer of this game. I am eternal consciousness, safe and guided. And then open your eyes with awareness. Touch something near you, like a wall, a plant, anchoring your senses. And this brings you back to a balanced state, fully present in the now moment.
That is part of our mission as light workers, as the starseeds, as the volunteers, as the grid workers, as we are bringing the true reality forward. That we are multidimensional. And it is such a heightened time that we move into feeling, because that is the truth. When we tune into how we feel. Because what we see with our eyes, what we hear, that's all of our senses. The five senses, those five senses are not always going to be speaking the truth. It is how we feel within that we know. It's within the heart. It's within our energy. And as a community of starseeds, light workers, volunteers, grid workers, guardians, as a community, the more that we dive into and release and acknowledge the shame, the guilt, that I'm not good enough, these darker thoughts, we hold each other in community, in circle.
And we also bridge. We bring forward the truth now, because this is coded within us and we are bringing this forth now.
And the other theme that's also coming up during this Lionsgate that's heightened is the communication with the animals and how much they are supporting us. First, you may be noticing that you have a familiar. A familiar is your pet, is an animal that really is a spiritual guide. They can be healing us, protecting us, educating us, providing lessons, and all of the above. And you will know this. And you may also notice that there are more animals on your path showing us signs and synchronicities. All animals are highly sentient beings. And we are acknowledging this more and more. And it was just the other day that I came across, it was another group of male turkeys. And I was like, wow, this is so amazing. But then I noticed that there was 2 female hens, and it was in this laneway, this dirt laneway. And it was fenced on either side, and they were frantic. They were absolutely frantic. And I was talking to them, and I said, okay, well, I can try to help you. And I was going to, jump the fence and maybe scoop them up and lift them over. But then I stopped, I took a breath, and I closed my eyes, and I communicated to them in a really open heart and with a really calm energy. And I communicated to them both, and I just sent them a visualization. They can fly up to the top of the fence and they'll be able to hop over because they're in such a frantic state. And then I sent them loving energy, calming them down. And what do you know? The one hen hopped up and flew over. And the other one did shortly after as well. So this is a time that we also can communicate to our animals. The veil is very thin right now with the Lionsgate. And the energy is so potent, it's so powerful. And we have this, and we all have the amazing ability to communicate to animals with our heart, with kindness and compassion and love. You may also notice in this Lionsgate energy that others are really getting impacted. Those that are heavily in the 3D may have eruptions. It's really challenging right now for so many people on the planet. The fear is really at an all-time high. And you may have noticed that if you have unplugged from watching the news, if you've unplugged from social media, that your energy has actually shifted and you're not in fear anymore. It's a really big takeaway. However, a lot of humanity is still watching the news and this fear program. And every time that you watch the news or are in the program, I've got to keep informed, you're actually just feeding the system. And when you unplug from it, it releases so much. You unplug from that fear program. You unplug from that matrix. And you really do notice that when others are watching it, that you can also tune into their energy, and their energy, their cells may be vibrating like this. This is such a massive program on Earth, is the fear program. And really what it does to your whole state of being, to the cells, to the organs, to your energy field. And when the human is operating like this, the cells are just like shh, and your whole nervous system is shot. So it is really beautiful that we can hold space when you're available to, that we do this really deep dive work together in witnessing, observing the shame, the guilt, that I'm not good enough. And really these darker thoughts that have been here for a really long time. And we are working together. So support. How can we support you at this time? On August the 8th, the peak of the Lion's Gate, Gru and I, we are offering a free live Zoom event. And this is for those that are in need of releasing and clearing and soul alignment. It is at 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Please only register if you can attend the live, for this is not a recorded event, and the link is below. We also are offering 3 online courses, and there are 3 different payment options. The links for these are below, and this is how to manifest with the creation of the womb, with the power of the womb. The other one course is the Awakening the Elven Magic Within. This was amazing when the elves came forward. And the other course is how to release the 3 soul blocks. And this was so big. This is such a massive energy blocks that are in humanity. And if this speaks to you, the links are below. And only for a few more weeks, Gru and I are offering the Soul Mission Alignment group sessions. You book individually, as this is divinely orchestrated, where the group comes together. And it really is the power of working in a circle. And really exciting news, Gru and I are now opening the Circle of Support to all. This begins on August the 7th. This is a group for 20 to 25 people. And this is for energy clearing alignment. It's all about community. And if you're needing additional support, the link is below. You can check out more information, and we'd love to have you there. And I leave this video with, this is when I was in Denmark. I felt this pull, this call to wake up at, I think it was 3 or 3:30 in the morning. And it was still dusk. It was still dark, but the light was just starting to come in. But it was the bird song. It was the bird song that was it was awakening. And it was that magical time when, you know, in that part of the world, everyone was sleeping. And the birds were waking up. And it was the tones, the frequencies of the birds. It was this hope. It was a new dawn. And you're also going to be hearing light language. And this light language, I was guided to sing and to speak, for this is assistance for those of us that are feeling that we need to take the deep dive now in the shame, the guilt, the I'm not enough energies, these darker energies, and maybe depression, suicidal thoughts. You're not alone in this. And this light language is support for those that are in need. Blessings of love and light to all. Namaste. Om Yalo
Umaleo, Umalea-ho, Umaleo. Heya la sona, heya la sona, heya hoa le heya hoa yo yum. Heya la hoa heya le hum. Ho 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 huma le ho. Ho la heya huma le hum. Huma le hum. Yasanali yosotokoana shianali yonotokoamiana. Yana sanali osonotokoama sanali asana chuchukoyana. Yala totokoama saniana. Yala sononyo notokoana shinali asotokoana shionoliuama. Alian nalio. Sono analia. Yasanalia solotokoana liamayum.